So my name is Susan Mogore Wambogo, working with Untitled Africa, responsible for business development. I've been in interaction with several of you before on other projects, and I'm really glad that you've come on board with this one as well. And I believe it will have value for you and for your business, and hopefully expand your markets and even your product portfolio. With me is my colleague, David. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. Glad to have you all here in time for the webinar. My name is David Getru, and I am the Operations Manager in Untitled Africa.
So for today's agenda, we will speak about what the transparency call is all about, and then we will also then look at how we are going to implement this transparency journey, how we're going to go about the transparency journey for each one of you. It is an individual journey, and why we call it a journey is because there are steps to transparency. We all are at different levels of implementation in terms of transparency, and so we are calling it a transparency journey. So we will look at how to implement phy2app for your businesses, and we will also then look at agree on the next steps and see how best to proceed with each one of you and your companies. Okay. So we'll first give you an overview of what Transparency Champions Call is all about, and after that, we'll go more into the technical details and explain how to implement phy2app. So after this session, by the end of this session, you will learn how to manage your products within the phy2app. And let me mention that the phy2app is a platform. It's a digital platform. It is not an app. It's not an application. It's a digital platform that runs on an URL. So by the next steps, and this is what we will cover in this webinar, is we'll learn how to manage your product within the phy2app. We will have a look at some product profiles, just as examples of what your products will look like by the time we're done with this, with uploading or onboarding your companies. And then we'll also learn how to use phy2app for your marketing. After the webinar, you will be invited to register your personal phy2app account, and then henceforth you will become the admin of your company within phy2app. So what is it about transparency? The current market environment demands transparency. And so the Transparency Champion is the first call that we've launched as Untitled Africa, together with our partners, which is VDE, based in the Netherlands. In Germany, we have Profound, which is based in the Netherlands, and also Oracle. And this is targeted specifically at Kenyan agri-businesses, agro-processors and producers of health foods, as well as cosmetics. And so for Transparency Champions, as the name suggests, it is all about helping you to become a champion of transparency. So why is transparency important? The consumer today is demanding more transparency. Consumers want more details about the products they buy, not just the basic details. And for us, for a lot of our companies that are already probably the export business or are targeting markets that are sensitive to whose consumers are sensitive to what they consume because of different reasons, and especially health reasons, then it becomes increasingly important that we are able to communicate this information about our products in the fastest way possible, in real time, and when there are changes and updates, then it is something that we're able to update to inform our customers. And this goes beyond the basic product profile, because you will be able to communicate. You also need to communicate exactly where your product is coming from, how it is produced, what environmental and social impact it has. So transparency is a way to get exposure on your regional, national and international markets about your products. And during the program, we would like to equip you with a phy2app to start building a transparent agribusiness. And for this, you will get a free annual license for phy2app. So the license for phy2app is allocated to each company, and the products are each allocated a QR code. And my colleague David will explain this further, and you will see how it works for your business. The implementation of phy2app will last approximately 1 to 2 months and should be completed by the end of the year. And after that, you will get continuous educational, marketing, and technical support that you will need to further improve. We will organize more webinars, and hopefully with this, then you will become more familiar with the tool, and you're going to use it actively so that you can derive the benefits that you should from using the platform. For example, and more specifically, aspects on product marketing using phy2app. So this means that at the beginning of 2022, you will become part of our transparency champions community. Now let's move to phy2app, and my colleague David will explain how to implement phy2app for your agribusiness.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Once again, thank you for all attending on time. And now I will take over this part where we talk about what is phy2app. So phy2app is a digital transparency solution to improve the marketing of your products and scale your sales activities. So as you know already, the current trends in the market is to go digital, to have transparency, to have traceability. So some of you may not know what transparency is. Some of you are familiar. And as Susan has explained, transparency is really just being open about your product. So where you source it, where it is, how you produce, what environmental practices you do, what social responsibility practices you do. However, what a lot of transparency solutions lack is a means to communicate them. So of course you can communicate in your social media, but then you tend to have all of this information be a bit scattered. So what it is I'm about to present to you is a solution that allows you to have it all in one place, to organize it and communicate it collectively. And eventually you will now start seeing the trends, how far your product is reaching, who is interested, with the people that are interested in your information, where are they located, and even more features that we keep on adding. So phy2app, as a start, is used by over 25 agribusinesses in East Africa. So East Africa, we talk about Kenya, we talk about Rwanda, we talk about Uganda, we talk about Tanzania, and we are even starting in Nigeria. So this is a tool that is gaining traction, and more and more people are coming, as more and more people are coming to understand the importance of transparency. So it helps you get new clients and develop new markets. And you do this by becoming an innovator and a leader in the market. So as you can see here, there's a photo of one of our clients. Her name is Yvonne from Nyonga. So what it is that we have worked with her to implement phy2app. And through this, she's been able to make deals with different companies all over the world, so that she just by being transparent, just by implementing phy2app. And through this webinar, we will show you what exactly it is that the journey we walked through to get to the point where she is using a digital transparency tool. So phy2app allows you to communicate the right information. So you always have quite a lot of information that you want to say. So you can talk about your success stories, you can talk about relationships with farmers, you can talk about so much information. But with phy2app, we have done the research that is really needed in the market. So this information is both the market that is both based on the market that is local, that is regional, and also international. So we have means for you to enter details for bulk B2B business transactions and B2C business transactions. So you collect the information that the buyers are looking for, which includes the product origin and the product processes, and you simply put it into the platform and it will aggregate and organize the information. So by organizing this information, it is presented on our platform, where you talk about your traceability journey and really communicate it and connect with the market itself. So here you'll see pictures of the farmers, you see pictures of production, and you'll see pictures of environmental sustainability practices that you have, and also the traceability of where it is you source the information. So you can put all of this information onto the phy2app platform and communicate it to your end consumer. So how do you communicate? You can get a link that you can share through your already existing social media platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. You can share it in newsletters, in emails. You can also print it out on brochures or even on banners through the QR code that the platform allows you to generate. Because these days, when someone wants to have information, we've noticed, especially with COVID-19, a lot of people, when a lot of people have started adopting the QR code trend. So if you go to a lot of restaurants or other areas, you will see a QR code so that you can scan the menu. So when you have this platform and you generate this QR code and put it on your brochures or your banners, when you're in an exhibition, there's always a few moments to grasp your client or potential client. So someone will come, they'll ask for information, and then they will go away. So by having this on your brochure, when they go away with the brochure, they can scan it in their own time and see the information that you already have put into the platform. And of course, the other information like the phone number, how to reach you, and about the product. So once they scan this, then they immediately become grasp and get more interested. So the purpose of this is really to build those long-term connections, so that once you grasp the client, you keep on going with them through the journey up until that you ensure you make your sale. So this again comes into the part where we talk about the return on investment of what it is you're doing. So other features that we have is the traceability and authenticity, where you communicate your traceability practices and also you assure authenticity of your product. So by communicating traceability, it works simply by entering the batch number that you have on your existing product. So for example, if you do B2C sales and each product has a certain batch, so you can have a batch of products coming from different regions. Say, let's say you source all over Kenya, for example, and you have, you source maybe your coffee from Nyeri, you source it from Kagumo or wherever. For one specific batch, if you've been able to identify where that batch comes from, then you can attach it, you can add it to the system so that when someone enters the details, it will only show you that this is coffee from Nyeri or this is coffee from Kiambu. Like, these is some of the possibilities you're able to do with the platform. And also in our authenticity assurance, like some companies experience counterfeit in the market. So the same system where you have the batch, you will also have the expiry date and possibly the production date. So when the end user scans and enters these details on the platform, because you see these are yours and you're the one who understands how the system works, then the end user will get the alert that the product is authentic. And if this fails the authenticity check, then they will get the alert that there's no information related to this batch number. So this is also a security feature that we offer, all included in the phy2app package. So now this is the point where you ask, okay, so I am doing all of this work. How do I actually know whether this is working for me? Who is scanning this? So now every time someone scans the information, you have your own dashboard, which is specific to your product, and it will show you regionally where your product is being scanned. So these are who is interested in your product, where it is they're buying, where the end consumer gets to. So it shows you a global reach of where your product reaches. So like here you can see, if I sell my product maybe in an exhibition, or I sell it to distributors, and I see a lot of people are scanning in South Africa, United States, it tells you where your market is. And this is real-time data. So as soon as someone scans it, it's picked up in the cloud system and it's updated on your dashboard. So yeah, at this point, I would like to welcome any questions before I can move on to the next part. So Susan has mentioned that you're welcome to drop your questions in the chat box, and we can also do this in the Q&A session. So if you have any questions right now, please raise your hand, or you can drop a message in the chat box. Okay. So now I'm going to show you a video that we have that explains what it is I've been talking about, and then I will show you examples of products that we have created as demos for you in phy2app to use. Let me just play this video. It's a 2-minute video.
A growing segment of consumers is becoming more demanding in their search for transparent products. 94% of surveyed consumers are more likely to be loyal to transparent companies and are willing to pay up to 10% more. Let the consumers dive into your transparency world full of information about the product details, where the ingredients come from, the production processes, your social responsibility, and environmental sustainability practices. You can communicate all this with a special QR code on your products, the phy2app label. When a consumer scans the QR code, they can discover all the important product details and check the product's authenticity with just a few simple clicks. phy2app helps you aggregate, organize, and communicate transparency information. You can upload photos, enter geolocations to mark the product's origin, and upload your certificates. When ready, download the generated phy2app label and print it together with your product label. phy2app provides you with the data about the scanning activity to learn about your consumers' scanning habits and your product's global reach. The phy2app label will directly connect consumers with your company. It will communicate the values that the consumers are looking for and help you build trust and loyalty for the brand. Join phy2app and become a transparency champion of your industry.
Okay, great. So I'll now go back to the presentation, and a few things I didn't mention. Also, as much as you can share on your social media and print on brochures, you can have the QR code on the product itself. So when you sell your product or you sell it to a distributor or direct to the shop, then you will be able, when a consumer buys that product, they will be able to see the QR code, and when they scan it, they see the information that it is you have prepared for them. So this examples of great product profiles that we have is sort of a nutshell or a demonstration of what it is the consumer will be able to see and what it is your product is capable of looking like once we take you through this Transparency Champions program. So also something else I would like to mention is that if you have any certificates, any good practices that you have, you can also upload this. I remember we got a question from one of the participants, and this becomes complementary to what it is you already do. So it's not really like against all the work you've already done. It's really adding a digital touch, a digital element to what it is you already do. So basically, you can see there's a picture of the avocados in this avocado demo product profile. So you can have high quality images that you can put in. And as you scroll down, you'll have a product description talking about any brief description that you have. Something else you can also do is you can embed a YouTube video. So you have any video that talks more about your product, because of course, a picture is 1,000 words, but a video will really help you have that engagement, that interaction with the person who is scanning. So you can attach this, and Susan, if you'd like, you can click on play, and it will show you that you don't really open a new window. It plays within the same window. That's why I mentioned that you embed. and really to avoid that inconvenience where someone has to open a different tab and you need to come back now. So this is just a quick example. So you can pause it and then we can go on. Yeah. So you have the nutritional value about the product, just to educate the consumers as well. So some people can buy your product, but they don't really know what value they'll get out of it. Or there are some people who are really concerned about these details. So then you can talk about the calories, all the different nutrients that you have, vitamins, and so on. You also have the origin, which is what I had touched on when I talk about where it is you source. So saying our avocado comes from different regions where we work with different farmer groups, like Meru, like Chuka, and so on, all around Mount Kenya. And you can go as far as putting the exact pin location. And as you scroll down, you'll also have farmer stories. So this is an example where you can talk about one of the farmer or even a group of farmers. So having a photo and a description next to them. So you'll also see there's a show more button. So you can have more than one farmer story. So if Susan clicks on that, then it will show different farmer stories that you have. For example, a story for Jane, and you can have, I think, up to 5 different stories, just really to give that connection that it is you're trying to achieve with the end consumer. So if you go on here, you can also have your different certificates, say your USDA organic certificate, Fair for Life, even Global Gap, and you can even give as much detail as when it will expire, or which is optional. And when someone downloads, they will see the exact certificate that you have, or you can have maybe the logo and a description next to the certificate, so that in case you would not like to share such information. So you also have the packaging, talking about what type of sustainable packaging that you do. If you use recyclable material, then this is a good time to shine and talk about these details. And you can go ahead and talk about the product quality. So documents that talk about the bioanalysis, nutritional test of controls, and different measures that you do to ensure a quality product reaches the end consumer. So if you scroll down, again, here you have details about how your production and how it is you store. So let's say you store in cold temperatures, or say you dry your food. So when you dry it, how it is you store so that you ensure that bacteria doesn't form. So these are the things you can be able to communicate. So it's really about educating the end consumers, the codes of conduct that you have in the say factory. So it's like, this is an example of strict measures to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. So ensuring that people are wearing gloves, or ensuring that you do COVID tests maybe regularly within the company. So these are things you can always communicate. Again, some of these details are optional, so you may not have them, but you are working on them. So you don't have to show everything, but you can show at the level that you have reached right now. And of course, as you improve, you can always add to it, and it will automatically be updated. So for example, if you already sold your product and it has a QR code, as soon as you update, when someone scans, they will see the new information that has that you have updated. So it's always, as I said, it's real time, and it reflects all across all the QR codes that you have. And it's also good that you can be able to see where it is the people are scanning. So you can go on here. We talk about environmental sustainability. You talk about your water use, whether you collect rainwater, how you recycle the water, so that you're not just constantly dumping wastewater into the seas, which of course is not good for the environment. Also, all packaging, sustainable, and CO2 footprints, whether you measure, you can talk about this here. And yeah, you can scroll down, Susan. And yeah, by then at the bottom, you'd have details about the company. So you can have your logo, the company name, the headquarters, about the company. So keep on scrolling and you'll see even talk about the CEO, the email, phone numbers. And at the very bottom, you'd have other products that are on the platform. So when someone is seeing this, then they will also know, oh, as much as I have avocado, I also have cosmetic product. I also have moringa, I have tea, I have juices, and so on and so on. So yeah, this is just in a nutshell what it is. You can create your product profile to be like. And yeah, thank you, Susan, for helping with that. And now I can resume the presentation. So any questions at this point, please feel free to drop in the chat and we will answer in the Q&A session at the end. So we're coming towards the end where we talk about how to use phy2app for marketing. I've already talked about adding the URL to your emails. Maybe you can have it in your email signature. So anytime someone wants to click or any email you send, someone can click and they will see the information. Have it on social media. You can have it on your website and any other digital channel tools that you already use. Here you can have it on the leaflets, posters, promotional materials, even t-shirts if you would like. And you can use it especially at trade events, trade fairs, in conferences, in business meetings, in exhibitions, virtual expos, where when someone is, you're really presenting and you'd like to leave them with something. So this again has details about your company, it has details about your product, all your practices. So it really summarizes everything and presents them in a nice way. So that was a desktop view. When you scan it and you see it in the phone, it's also optimized for different mobile devices. So the beauty about this is that when someone scans, you don't need to download any other application. It just takes you directly to the URL link and you will see the image as it comes. So you add, as I had mentioned, you add the QR labels to your packaging and, you know, the product speaks for itself. So it's not, this will encourage the customer loyalty, customer retention, and people buying something, knowing that it's not just a product, but it's the story behind the product. That is what really makes people loyal to your brand, to your product. And this can work for the healthy foods, it can work for natural cosmetics, it can work for different industries that that really have a story to tell, which is why we are calling this program the Transparency Champions, because you're championing being all the good, all the sustainability practices that you do. So what's next? After this webinar, we will send you emails for thank you for attending this webinar, and you will be able to register your account and create your first product profiles. So our team is well equipped and skilled to train you on how it is to add the products and how it is you can be able to get from either zero or a little bit of transparency to being a transparency champion using our digital platform. So again, you can always contact us after the webinar if you would like a one-on-one session, maybe to get a better understanding, and we are happy to help you so that we can take you through this journey to become a transparency champion. So now I'd like to get to the point where I'm open to any questions. Me and my colleague will be able to answer you. So please raise your hand or you can unmute and we can be able to go on.
Thank you very much, David. And I believe we now have a fair idea about the journey that we've started with this transparency champion. And I like to put it simply that a lot of our companies within, and especially SMEs, we are making a lot of effort. We are doing a lot of efforts in our product development, in our processes, and putting in a lot of time in how we are doing our products, in how we are making our products stand out. However, we're not always able, or we're not always communicating this. We have a good product, we have a good package, but the back end of everything that we are doing to make sure that our product is good, by sourcing responsibly, by making sure small efforts that we are doing with the environment, things that we do to take care of our workers, and any other social responsibility, all these things that go into your product is rarely communicated, because of course the package is limited. And thus this gives us an opportunity. The QR code and phy2app gives us the opportunity to tell the story about our product, everything else that goes into the product beyond the product itself. And so we really are happy to walk this journey with you, starting today, as soon as we finish this webinar and get you registered, and we start to have this to have you improve your communication with your customers, with your existing customers, and also with future customers. I'm saying this just to open up the floor for questions. You're welcome to unmute yourself and ask a question, or put it down on the chat box. Thank you.
Susan, someone is asking, Sarah Bamber is asking, can you share specific examples of how customers have gained through the use of phy2app?
I'd just like to go on our website. So we have blog stories where we talk about examples and success stories of the customers we have worked with. And the example that I gave about Myonga, unfortunately, I think my internet, for some reason, the links are not loading. So maybe, Susan, I can allow you to just go to our website. Let me share with you the link, and you can be able to open it. As we load this, there's another question that is being asked. And I will get back to you, Sarah. Just one moment. I think I'm having some technical difficulties, but I will answer your question as soon as I sort it. So the next question is from Caroline, where she is asking if we can have the phy2app link in our website as well. So yes, you can have the link in your website, where it can direct you to our platform that we have created for you. So currently we don't have the capability where you have it as one of the pages in your website. The reason is because, of course, we talk about when someone scans or when someone clicks on it, there is the traceability aspect of it, where you know where the people are scanning from. So having it in our platform allows you to be able to see where people are engaging with the information. And something that we tend to advise our customers is you can have it in parallel. So you see, with this platform, you can create and optimize the information to be for your product, for your practices, for your company. And you can also have the same information on your own websites as you grow. Maybe you are the one who designs your website, so you can be able to do this, or maybe you don't, you're not so technical in it. In the phy2app platform, it's very easy, very intuitive to use, and we will train you on how it is you can be able to add this information so that you can get as much benefit out of it as possible. Has that answered your question, Caroline? Please drop a message, or you can unmute and let me know. My next question is...
Yes, thanks, David.
Okay. My next question, before I go to Bernard, I would like to answer Boniface's question, which asks how much you charge for training and phy2app. So I'd like to let you know that by being part of this Transparency Champions, we will be offering you 1 year for you to use the platform and really get to use it. So normally we charge $400 annually. And this is for your company, and you can use it for different products that you would like. So by being on this platform, you get to really experience it for 1 year and see whether this is something that is helping you, this is something that makes sense for you, and you are able to really experiment, get as much benefit out of it as possible as we take you through the training and show you what it is, the potential you can be able to do with this. And then after the year, that's where we start billing annually at 400 USD. So yes, now I will go over to Bernard, who is raising his hand. So Bernard, please go ahead.
Yeah, how and when do we start using the platform? And second, is there a possibility of individualized coaching in case there are issues that you need to raise?
Okay, thank you for your question. So this was just an introductory webinar to let you know more information aside from just applying and filling in the form, but all the training that we will do will be one-on-one. So we will approach each of you individually so that, of course, we can't have a one-fits-all. We need to have a session where we can really go with you individually until you understand at your own pace. And this will start as soon as we finish this webinar. So it depends really on your availability. Since the team is well equipped and ready to take you through, then we will be able to go on with you. Has this answered your question?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, great. So my next question, I think, is it X4 brackets 2019? I assume there's a person behind it and not a robot. So it says that we are talking about avocado. What about coffee? So the avocado example that I gave was, just for demonstration. So we also have a coffee demo, but this can work for different products, not just avocado or coffee. It can work for dried foods. It can work for fresh fruits. It can work for vegetables. It can work for cosmetics. And as long as it's a product that you can sell, the platform can really work because it's really focusing on talking about the story behind the development of the product. So say, for example, you only source your coffee from women farmers. So, this is a good story, but your end consumer doesn't really know this. The best way to communicate out is what it is we are talking about, having it directly on your product. So when someone scans, they will understand by buying from this coffee, they're really contributing towards the efforts that you are putting in to ensure that the women farmers get paid equally and creating opportunities for even more farmers to be able to, improve their livelihood and so on and so on. So this can work for any story that you already have, and it really just enhances what it is you already do and takes it on a digital level. I hope this has answered your question. Okay, I will take that as a yes. And there's 2 more questions. Thank you once again all for the questions. I think it shows the interest. There's a question from Sarah again, where she asked, could you maybe share how many clicks months on average current users are experiencing? So to answer this question, we currently do not share this information because we have it more personalized. So all the information belongs to you. So I wouldn't go to one of our clients and tell you, okay, this is how it is that this client is performing. But we are working on creating trends to create average so that we can be able to show on average, based on the amount of effort you do, this is what it is that is expected. Say, for example, by using this platform, what it is you're doing is really, it's just a tool. Like with all softwares, you can buy a tool, but if you're not really using it, then you're not getting the most out of it. There's this principle they tend to call garbage in, garbage out. So if you do not put in a lot of effort, then you won't get a lot of results. So the more effort you put in is what will determine how many clicks or average or per month for users when people are scanning that you will be getting. So I hope this has answered your question, Sarah. And please let me know in the chat. And I think the final question is from Boniface, who is asking, each product I must speculate, for each product I speculate must have a QR code for this. So there are different ways you can do it. You can have one QR code for different products. This works well if you have a few products, or if you have quite a lot of products, then you can have one QR code for each variant of the product. For let's say, for example, if you have, say, what's a good product I can use? Say honey. If you have honey from different sources, then you can choose to either have a story for each of the source of honey, or you can just have one collective story for this honey. So with this, the main difference is that how it is you monitor and how it is you communicate. So by communicating different stories for each honey, you're really going ahead to talk about the specific story that you're trying to communicate and connect with the consumer for where the honey is sourced from. Say you source your honey from Bungoma, then you maybe call the product Bungoma honey. So someone will really understand that this specific honey that I am taking is maybe from my hometown, if I'm from Bungoma, or near my village, if you go as far as communicating that information. Again, you can also talk about maybe the general phase where we talk about different honeys, and with you have one collective story. So you can talk about, say, if you have different flavors. I mean, I'm not really sure how you would have different flavors, but if you can talk about, say, different sources, and just have one summarized story for this, then this can also work, where you talk about, we source my honey all over this region or these countries, and you have the different pins showing where it is you get your honey, and have one summarized information. So this will show you the collective data for all the products of where it is they're reaching and where it is they've been scanned. So yes, another question from Rita Njuguna. She is mentioning that she knows Mionga very well, and how is it that we're able to quantify that the app is what assisted with increasing her sales or linking them with suppliers. All right, so here I will hand this over to Susan, because this is the article that I was trying to pull up. And I think, Susan, if you can just share your screen, then we can be able to answer this question, because we did an interview with her afterwards, and she was able to really explain how it works and how it is it helped her. So you can be able to understand, not just from our perspective, but from Yvonne's own perspective, who is one of our clients.
Okay, David, I think we can share the link on the chat. But basically, what we are saying is that Mionga has in several, Yvonne has in several interviews already spoken about the value phy2app had for her business, because transparency is very key and traceability is very key for the kind of products that she's doing, and she's been able to use it to communicate. She is using the QR code. So we will share the link, and you will hear a testimonial from her directly, that then hopefully will enable you to see the link between the transparency tool, the digital, because again, I want to emphasize, it's not an app, it's really a digital platform, and how it has helped her in making her business more visible, because it's all about the visibility of the business and the transparency in terms of your production processes, that then helps you attract wider markets. And this is what happened for Mionga. So we're happy to share the link with the interview so that you can spend time and listen to it. Thank you.
Okay, great. I think
I see Bernard's hand is up. Bernard Moshiri. Okay. There's a question from Sarah. You mentioned that all participants today will be registered with phy2app. Does that mean 1 year free access beginning today as the company begins to use the platform? The answer, Sarah, is yes.
Yeah, so just to add on this, it's as soon as you are able, as soon as we start the process of registering with you, then that starts the 1 year free access. So this is why it's important to really accelerate, because we've noticed that it's not something that you want to start and then hold it for later. When you have this understanding, when you have this energy, when you put a lot of, maybe if you are a founder, instead of being the one, we understand that you tend to have quite a lot of stuff, you know, it's sales, it's business. So every day you're always busy. It's always recommended that you can delegate this to someone as soon as you understand the value of it, and we are able to work with them so that we can push this as fast as possible. And this person will be able to really work with one of our team members in terms of being trained and being a custodian of the information for your company. So of course you would have different users, so you would be able to view it at any time, you'd be able to make changes, and you'd be able to add. So I hope this has answered your question. And just to note, I have shared the link for the Myonga story, which you can see in the chat. Also, my colleague has shared another link from Seattle Tea, which is in Rwanda, and you will be able to go through it in your own time. I think in the interest of time for everyone, we had planned this to be 1 hour, and we will soon be closing the session. So there's one more question from
David.
Rita. Yes. So do we have to pay
From
for the
Rita,
QR code separately, or is it part of it? So this is part of it. So once you create the information, the QR code is a means for you to communicate. So it is already part of this package. I think once we start doing the training, the one-on-one, you'll be able to understand how it works, and you'll be able to see really like hands-on how it is. So yeah, thank you once again for your time, and thank you everyone for the questions. If you would like, please feel free to email us, and I would now hand over this back to Susan.
Thank you very much, David, and thank you everyone for your active participation, and thank you for your whole line of questioning, because it has helped us also then answer the questions on behalf of many other people who probably have the same question. It has helped us also divulge a lot more information about how this operates. I've put my personal number on the chat box, and you're welcome to call me for further information, for additional questions that you may have. And in the coming few days, by tomorrow, we'll have all of you registered, and we will kickstart the process. The process starts with the registration. So we will have a lot of active engagement with each one of you. If you where we have a one-to-one implementation for the onboarding process, we're also flexible and available for that. And as David said, the team is ready and well equipped to walk with you through this journey. Just one last request in the remaining 1 minute of the Zoom call. I kindly request you, if you can, to turn on your video. We'd just like to take a screenshot, and we will use this on our LinkedIn platform, just to show the transparency champions who have succeeded to be with us on this call. If you're able to kindly turn on your video, and Martina will just take a picture in 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, I will take another one. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate your time. We appreciate your participation, and we look forward to more engagement in the coming few days to make sure that you successfully get onboarded and start your transparency journey. Have a good afternoon, and bye-bye.